We continue to monitor the ongoing trade discussions between the Boston Red Sox and the San Diego Padres. For the third season in a row, these two teams are trying to get together on a deal that would land all-star first baseman Adrian Gonzalez in Boston. This deal was supposed to be finalized today, but hold on, nothing is official. Some reporters say this deal is dead. Some believe it's alive, including our own Eric Halpern. Eric?
Hi, I'm Eric Halpern from KSPORTS, and this week we warm up the hot stove to talk about the Red Sox. Finally, Red Sox Nation can let out a little sigh of relief. It's getting colder now in New England, and GM Theo Epstein and the Sox are starting to heat things up. They've worked out a deal with the San Diego Padres. This will bring all-star first baseman Adrian Gonzalez to the Sox. In exchange, the Sox give up minor league pitching prospect Casey Kelly, along with 3 other minor leaguers. The blockbuster deal is the Red Sox first this offseason. ESPN's Buster Olney broke the story and talked about the impact the deal will have on the Sox.
If the Red Sox complete their talks with the Padres for slugger Adrian Gonzalez, he could mean as much to Boston as Mark Teixeira has meant to the Yankees. An excellent fielding first baseman who can anchor the middle of an order and provide big-time run production. While playing at a pitcher's park in San Diego, Gonzalez has racked up 4 straight years of 30 or more homers. Presumably, Kevin Youkilis will shift to third base for the Red Sox, and now Boston can work to land one of the 2 premier free agent outfielders, Carl Crawford or Jason Worth. Either way, if Gonzalez winds up in Boston, he should be a foundation piece.
So now the attention moves to Carl Crawford and Jason Worth. Crawford wants a huge 8-year deal. Is he worth it? Not really, based on his skill set. If you're going to spend that kind of money, you want a power bat. That is what the Phillies free agent Jason Worth is all about. Both guys would be great additions to the team, but Worth might be a little more worth it. Gonzalez's extension needs to be finalized by 2 p.m. on Sunday, or else there will be no deal. Maybe we'll see in the coming days what will happen with Crawford and Worth. For now, I'm Eric Halpern with KSPORTS, and that's my vlog.
Thank you, Eric, and congratulations to getting into Elon College. That's a tough college to get into. I know my sister's trying to get in there. So now that the college football regular season is over, it's time to sort out the bowl picture. It looks like Oregon and Auburn will play for the national championship. Our West Coast correspondent Kunal Sain takes a look at the emerging college bowl season. Joining us now on Skype is Kunal. Kunal? Oh, on video is Kunal.
Hi guys, I'm Kunal with your weekly sports update. This week's word of the week was fail. First off, the BCS ranking system, complete fail. No playoff system, and then they have to go through all that bowl work and all that matching up and the pairing. And so the BCS national game now is Oregon against Auburn, the 2 best teams. But instead of having Stanford and Wisconsin, both winners of the Big Ten and the second place of the Pac-10, since Oregon is going to the BCS National Championship, they put TCU in Wisconsin. Stanford, I think, is a better team than TCU, and I have them ranked higher in my ranking. They put TCU, who is the highest ranked non-major conference team. So now Stanford will be playing in the Orange Bowl against Virginia Tech instead of playing in the bigger Rose Bowl, which I think they definitely deserve to be in. And then the second fail was the big fight between Andre Johnson, Cortland Finnegan, who is the cornerback for the Tennessee Titans. They got into a big heated fight after Andre Johnson ripped off his helmet and Finnegan ripped off his helmet, and all this action went on.
They're here. I can't hear him, so I'm just
suspension. Nothing happened between them, and that was it. Nothing. Not even, they didn't sit out a game or anything. So lame the NFL is these days, right? Tell me about it, guys. And then there's no third fail of the week this week because there was nothing big going on except for the Lakers, who epically have been failing. They have lost 3 straight games but redeemed themselves last night against the Sacramento Kings. So those are the 3 fails. And now the good thing. Celtics have won 6 straight. crushing the Bulls. Rondo had 19 assists, Garnett had 17 rebounds. Solid looking strong and good, like the best team in the league. Totally. And then in baseball, the Red Sox picked up first baseman Adrian Gonzalez. But the bad thing is that Gold Glover Kevin Youkilis is now having to move to third, and now Adrian Beltre, who had the highest average in the AL, one of the highest averages in the AL last year, is now gone, and I think he was a key aspect to our team. And then the other thing I think the Red Sox need definitely is Carl Crawford. He's a veteran who's still fast, can still hit the ball, still cover a lot of ground. But if that happens, then Jacoby Ellsbury will be gone. So a lot of decisions for the Red Sox. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Okay, so we have Kunal live right now on Skype. Kunal, you there?
He is. Hang on.
All right, hold on. We're having some difficulties. Kunal,
Hello?
are you there?
Yes.
Hey, Kunal, how you doing?
Good. Good.
So, which bowl are you most looking forward to?
Because I live about 5-10 minutes away from Stanford, and looking forward to the Orange Bowl, which Stanford will be playing against the mighty Virginia Tech team. But besides that, definitely I'll look at the BCS National Championship Bowl, which consists of two of the big candidates for the Heisman, which is LaMichael James, which I think is the best rusher in the league, and Cam Newton, which is the best all-around offensive player in the league by far. And I think Cam Newton will win the Heisman, even which has happened to him with all that stuff.
So do you think that Virginia Tech will win or lose that game?
Oh, no, they'll lose. Stanford's too good. They have Andrew Luck. Their running game is improving. Their defense is improving, and they're shutting down teams. But David played very many powerhouse teams except for USC, who they beat in Arizona was okay. Oregon State was okay. But Oregon was the only key loss, and if they had beaten them, they would have gone undefeated, which would have been great. But Oregon had that big comeback win in the second half.
All right. Thank you, Kunal, for that insight. So when we come back, Alex Barth joins me on the back on the K-Sports Sunday set. We also check out some up-and-coming tennis juniors who are in Wayland over the Thanksgiving weekend. Don't go away. K-Sports Sunday continues after this. Welcome back to K-Sports Sunday. You probably know all about the traditions of Thanksgiving: turkey, family, and football. But how about some tennis? For the 30th year, the Longfellow Club in Wayland played host to some of the national's top junior tennis players. These players came from all over the U.S. to try to follow in the footsteps of Andre Agassi, who won his first national title in Wayland way back in 1981.
YBA reporter Jesse Mayfield Sheehan was on hand with videographer Zach Washington and has the story.
You may not have heard of Nicholas Crystal or Will Adams, but you might someday. They were the two finalists in the 30th Annual National Junior Tennis Tournament at the Longfellow Club in Wayland over Thanksgiving weekend. It's the only national junior tennis tournament in New England every year.
Well, what we're looking for is for the kids.
Annual National Junior Tennis Tournament at the Longfellow Club in Wayland over Thanksgiving weekend. It's the only national junior tennis tournament in New England every year.
Well, what we're looking for is for the kids to go out there and have a really great experience competing and enjoying that competition, and win or lose, to see if they can learn something. Because when you play a tennis match, there's always things to learn, and when you learn, you get better.
Two players who had that in mind are Matt and TJ, both looking to use tennis to get them some education in the classroom and on the court.
Yeah, I like school with good academics if it's D3 or D1, such as like Middlebury, Williams, Amherst, or somewhere in Ivy League, something like that, Georgetown. But definitely a place where I can play tennis and get a good education. I don't get out in the national circuit that much, so I've been playing in my section, so it's a good experience.
The U.S. Tennis Association has been focusing more on the development of junior tennis in recent years because the rest of the world has caught up and passed the traditional tennis powers of the U.S. and Australia.
So I think the competition's tougher. So I think that's number one. And number two, I think that that kids in the U.S. are spoiled. I think they get it too easy, and they're not hungry enough. And a lot of these players from the rest of the countries, this is their ticket to get out of either poverty or to get out of the middle class or to move out of their country and move into to make it big. And the motivation just isn't there for kids in America for the most part.
Well, I think if you look at our development system, we're behind every other country, because if you look at, for example, what happens in other countries, they have smaller courts, smaller rackets, which the U.S. has just started adopting for the last 30 years. So it's no different than we do other American sports. In the fact that we have smaller baseball fields, smaller soccer fields when kids are younger, smaller balls, lighter bats. In American tennis, we've just now started that. 3 years ago, the USTA started with a quick start initiative, and that's to really get kids on the right size court with the right size racket and the right kind of ball to develop their strokes. We went through a phase where, a guy like Andy Roddick, who's a great player, started playing on a big court at 5, so therefore he has a big serve because he had to spend a lot of energy to get it, all the way from a 78-foot baseline. And also, he had to hit the ball hard because he had to hit it a long way based on his age. And, we're getting beat by the European players and a lot of the other players because they have a better development system. We have more players, but if you have the wrong development system, it doesn't work.
This tournament was won by New York's Nicholas Crystal in straight sets over Will Adams 6-1, 6-1. But this was more about the experience and the level of competition, and that is a tennis education in itself. Well, that does it for today. From the Longfellow Club in Wayland, Massachusetts, I'm Jesse Mayfield Sheehan for Young Broadcasters of America.
All right, thanks, guys. So that about does it for us today at YBA. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Alex, and for everybody here at YBA, everybody over on the back talk set, Jimmy Young, Derek Gorman, everybody who did clips, Kunal out on the West Coast, that's our story, and we're sticking to it. Good night, everybody.